This is the second video in the series titled, Why Do Chinese Women Have Small Titties? This video series is named after a discussion in a public comment forums. Someone posted a news story about a scientific study that had discovered the breasts of modern Chinese women were getting bigger. The study speculated that the increase in breast size was due to the better diet of modern Chinese women. The first video in this series claimed that speculation was wrong. The first video claimed that the reason that Chinese women had small breasts was due to the incorporation of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles into the daily lives of Chinese women. The first video then claimed that the reason the breasts of modern Chinese women were getting bigger was that the newer generations of Chinese women were no longer incorporating Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles into their daily lives, but were instead living their lives according to Western concepts of the human body. The first video then went on to explain that the practice of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles exerts a contractive force on the female breast. The first video claimed that it was this contractive force that made the breasts of Chinese women small. Living a life according to Western concepts of the human body does not exert a contractive force on the female breast. By discontinuing the practice of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles in their daily lives, and instead living their daily lives according to Western concepts of the human body, there was no more contractive force being exerted on the breasts of Chinese women. With no more contractive force being exerted on them, the breasts of modern Chinese women are free to grow bigger as reported by the scientific study. The speculation in the study that it was a change in diet that was contributing to the increase in the breast size of Chinese women indicated that scientists apparently do not know that the incorporation of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles into the daily life of a female human being would exert a contractive force on their breasts. In order to educate those scientists and anyone else interested in the subject, a simple explanation for why the practice of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles exerts a contractive force on the female breast was provided in the first video. The explanation was presented as a puzzle that would stimulate the thinking of the viewer. The puzzle began with this picture of a line drawn on a human body. The line travels down from the arm to about chest level, where it forms a circle before continuing on down to the foot. The first video claimed that all anyone needed to do to understand why the practice of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles exerts a contractive force on the female breast was to tie their shoes while thinking about that image. A video clip of a person tying a pair of shoelaces was shown to demonstrate what people should see when they were tying their shoes. Public comments indicated that many viewers could not figure out the connection between tying their shoelaces and the line on the drawing. This video will explain the connection between tying a pair of shoelaces and the line drawing on the human body in this picture. A shoelace forms a loop with two free ends. When the free ends of the shoelace are pulled on, the loop in the shoelace shrinks. The line drawn on the human body in this picture is also a loop. The line is meant to represent how the human body is constructed at a deep level. According to Happy Theory, the practice of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles will pull on the free ends of the loop drawn on the human body. If a pulling force is exerted on both ends of the loop drawn on this human body, then the loop must get smaller. Because the loop is representing how the human body is constructed at a deep level, if the loop in the line shrinks, then the area of the body enclosed by the loop must also shrink. The loop encircles the chest area of the example human body, so a contractive force generated by the shrinking loop would be exerted on the breast of any female who practiced Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles. This picture shows a female model with large breasts. The loop line is then drawn on the model so the loop encloses the breast. If both ends of the loop are pulled on, the loop will shrink. The breast is too big to be enclosed by the loop now. Since the loop is representing the underlying structure of the human body, if the loop shrinks, the breast must shrink until it is again enclosed within the loop. This picture shows a close-up of a shoelace about to be tied. The picture is then rotated sideways. The model female breast is placed in the picture, located so the breast fits within the shoelace loop. The breast is then made partially transparent so the shoe can be seen through it. Both ends of the shoelace loop are pulled on, which shrinks the loop in the shoelace. The shoelace loop is now smaller than the breast, as highlighted in this picture. The breast is supposed to fit inside of the loop, so if the loop is smaller, the breast must shrink until it again fits inside of the loop. The smaller breast now fits within the shoelace loop. This video has explained the puzzle involving the shoelace from the first video in this series, and it has explained how the practice of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles exerts a contractive force on the female breast, which causes Chinese women to have small titties. The chest area of the human body is not the only area of the body that is enclosed within a loop-like structure. There is also a loop-like structure at the buttock area, as demonstrated in this picture. This loop behaves exactly like the loop around the breast. If both ends of the loop are pulled on, the loop will get smaller. The loop at buttock level is being included in this video because it explains why scientists have found that Chinese men have a small average penis size. Because the penis is opposite from the buttocks, when the buttock loop shrinks, it not only shrinks the buttocks, it also shrinks the size of the penis. This same phenomena also explains why Chinese people are a small people. This demonstration showed only the breast shrinking horizontally. The contractive force exerted by the breast and buttock loops affect the entire body in all directions. This picture shows a human body enclosed within the shoelace loop. The ends of the shoelace loop are then pulled on, which causes the shoelace loop to shrink. The human body is no longer enclosed within the shoelace loop. Because the shoelace loop is representing the breast and buttock loops in a real-life human body, if the shoelace loop shrinks, then the entire human body must shrink until it is again enclosed within the shoelace loop. This video has explained why the practice of Chinese Kung Fu and its related principles will shrink the female breast, the male penis, and the entire body of any human being.